Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, you guessed it right. Today we are going to be cooking together. When I was growing up in South Africa, my dad's favorite meal was mince. So I guess the word comes from minced meat, but here in the US they do call it ground beef. And ground beef is a super versatile dish. You can go in so many directions with this meal. I mean, you can make it a sweet and sour dish, you can make it spicy, you can serve it over mashed potatoes, or you can turn it into a shepherd's pie, you can serve it over rice or pasta, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Let's get started. I just have very few ingredients, and I might be adding some more, maybe some veggies like peas or carrots. I have some leftover onion and chopped up onion and jalapeno from a previous meal that I made a few days ago, and the ground beef and the pasta. As we mentioned, I'll be adding some spices, garlic, sauces, things like that. Actually, I'm not sure where this taste experience is going to lead us, but let's just go with the flow and see where it takes us. So let's get started. I'm sure most people have made a variation of this dish, but since this is my first time recording a cooking video, I just wanted to start with something simple. I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know where to put the camera, but I promise that I will probably get better with time. So right now I'm adding some olive oil for my very worn out pan, to my very worn out pan. This is where I'll be cooking the ground beef, and then in the other pot I'll make the pasta. I've already boiled some water in the kettle, and so now I'm just going to add that to the pot with a dash of olive oil so that the pasta won't stick together, and some salt for flavoring. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so just giving that a stir, and now I'm going to be adding the chopped up onion and jalapenos to the hot oil and browning it a little before I add some garlic and spices. By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed by now, I am not a strict carnivore anymore. I was on the carnivore diet, and I really love that diet. Honestly, it's the best diet I've ever been on. It helped me get rid of my sugar crashes. I was constantly sustained. I was never hungry. I lost a lot of weight. My skin got better. I had a lot of focus and clarity. But for some reason, I'm very addicted to sugar. So I don't strictly eat a carnivore diet anymore, but I still try and eat mainly protein. All right, so I've also asked Alexa to set a timer for 10 minutes, and that will be enough time to cook the pasta al dente, which means that it's slightly undercooked, like right in the middle. It will be a little bit hard, but by the end of the whole cooking process, I promise that it will be fully cooked through. So once I add the sauce and then warm it up again, it will be fully cooked. So don't worry, you're not going to be eating raw pasta. Fun fact, I remember when I was growing up in South Africa and I would cook pasta, I saw on a TV show that if you threw a piece of the pasta that you're cooking to the wall and it stuck to the wall, then it meant that it was cooked al dente. So I was busy throwing pasta on the wall in my adolescence. So okay, you know, I just added some garlic and ginger to the onions, and now I'm like digging in the spice cupboard for some random spices I think that, you know, would taste good. I think I pulled out some curry powder, Peruvian spice, yum yum spice, chili powder, onion powder, cumin, etc. And I'll just be adding a bunch of spices. By the way, I don't like measuring things, so I just throw in according to my judgment, and that's how we do it. I wish you could smell the aroma from the onions and the garlic and the spices right now. It's really so aromatic. I'm actually getting hungry just thinking about it. Now I've thrown in the ground beef and I'm just breaking it up with a fork so that it's evenly browned. Fun fact, another fun fact, I enjoy cooking, but I hate cleaning up. I think everybody, I'm sure most people say that, right? But you do get folk that enjoy cleaning up, but I absolutely hate cleaning up. So I try most of the time to make as few dishes as possible. But if I have a lot of pots on the plates, like if I have like 3 or more pots going and I'm making a salad on the side and there's something in the oven and there's just like too much going on, the kitchen usually gets super messy, like super messy. So my favorite dishes to make of all time are anything that can be made under 20 minutes or less. You know, I just love quick, easy meals. I don't like standing in the kitchen for too long, unless, you know, I'm like just preparing something and then I'm gonna throw it in the oven or leave it in the pot for a couple of hours. That's fine, as long as I'm not standing on my feet forever in the kitchen, then I'm good. Okie dokie. So the alarm for the pasta has gone off and now it's time to drain the water using a colander or strainer. I like my pasta to be saucy. Actually, today I was feeling for a creamy kind of pasta sauce, but I didn't have anything like that in the fridge. However, when I opened the grocery cabinet, I saw a tin of creamy mushroom soup and a tin of crushed tomatoes. So I've never put soup in my pasta before, but it would definitely be creamy, so I decided to experiment with it. The soup was really thick as well, so just out the can, you know, it was thick and I was like, is this old? But then I read the label and it wasn't old, it wasn't expired, but it did say that you had to add 1 tin of water to the soup and mix. So that's exactly what I did. I gave it a stir and then let me tell you, it turned out so yummy. I might remember that for a future recipe. It was actually like super creamy and yummy, really good. I'm glad I tried that experiment. Okay. The ground beef looks a bit boring, so to finish it off, I added some sweet chili sauce, my favorite. I can eat sweet chili sauce with absolutely any and everything. And I gave that a stir, and then I added some frozen peas to the mix. Stirred it in and voila, it's done. And then here we have the final product. Don't worry, that's my boyfriend's plate, not mine. I cannot eat that much. I always like over dishing for him though. This meal was super delicious. The contrast between the creamy mushroom pasta sauce and the spicy ground beef was to die for. It was so yummy. And yeah, sorry, my presentation is not that good, guys. I will work on it for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Stay tuned.